Hello, welcome back to Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald.
On board.
And we're going to bring you a review of Clash of Corgis.
Yes, if you're watching this on YouTube, which is the only place to watch it, we just played the playthrough. We have the unboxing and rulebook rundown as well. We appreciate Derek, the creator of Clash of Corgis, for reaching out and providing us their second edition of the game. We will be going through our normal 5 categories here. Also, we've heard from a few of you. We will be doing more review videos in the next month or so. So we have a lot of games we played over this year. We'll get a bunch of the big hitters out and do review videos for those. And then as the year progresses, especially as new games come in, we'll just add more and more.
Yeah, we'll try to do, for these quick ones especially, we'll try to bust out a review right after we play it so it's fresh in our minds. For the longer ones, like Ascendancy and stuff of that sort, we'll still delay those reviews to make sure we really play through a good chunk of it to get a good feel for it. So right now, of course, we're working through Isafarian Guard. We're not going to wait to get through the entire game to do a review, but we're going to wait till we get through the first campaign, because that'll give us a good idea of how it plays and each guard works differently. And things like Dragon Eclipse and that sort of stuff. So like we'll have a review coming for Skyrim, the game we played way early on. So we did play through
Old World
that.
Will have one.
As well as RuneScape that we played through everything there except for some of the expansions we didn't play through. But for these types of games that are one-offs, we'll definitely do a review. Any games that we play wrong, we'll probably wait to do a review as well until we do play it correctly so we get a good feel for it too. So Galactic Cruise being one of those.
Other side of the hill.
Others, Jesus. Especially that.
I can't wait to get them out on the table though. Another 10, 12-hour stream.
It'd be fun to have other people join us, but I don't know of anyone who...
I can see Ryan.
I would say maybe Ryan's the only person who could outlast with us. So it would be an additional hour to 2 hours of teaching him how to play. Which
you can do on a different day though.
As well, that's true.
You just do a...
And then try to dive in. Anyway, we're here to talk about Clash of Corgis.
That's true.
Yeah.
So our generic overview just of the game real quick before we do the review is there's 3 game modes. There's Original, there is Treasure Island, which are both 2 to 4 player, and then there is Capture the Illusionist, which is 2 player only.
And background on what those are. So Original is laying out 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of a kind, then using the ability of the cards you laid out. So it refers to the number on the card, not the suit specifically. And then the next player has to try and best that by laying down the same combo of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but of a higher number, and using their ability and such. Treasure Island, you are building a party up to 2 by playing a card down using its ability, and then trying to beat essentially like monsters or enemies that are coming out of the main deck, and the way you beat them is by having a higher number, and you're trying to collect loot. First to 10 wins there, and then the last one, which is the 2 player only, Capture the Illusionist, is where you have a bunch of hidden cards, you're slowly revealing them throughout the game, or your enemies revealing them throughout the game, and you are trying to use your card's effects to reveal your opponent's illusionist.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Ready to jump in?
Which I realize we just played that wrong.
How so?
I'm pretty sure it says in the rule book, I remember this now randomly, that once the illusionist was revealed the first time, if the ace has already been used, that you shuffle up and redeal it, and you gotta win 2 in a row to win that game.
No. It said. I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I think it says start over.
Yeah. Oh, I might say, okay, it says reshuffle everything again. I thought it was... Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. No.
It says here, otherwise you must immediately take all 11 of your original starting cards, including your ace, and follow the same steps in initial setup of the game. Afterwards, your opponent continues their turn.
Oh, no, so it is, yeah. I think you're supposed to win twice in a row.
Interesting. So if you do not know where your ace is, in the event that it's hidden...
You can look for it.
You may make one attempt to select one of your hidden cards, and without peeking at the face of the card, discard it. Okay. If the card discarded was your ace, return your illusionist back to its original hidden position, which we were doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you must immediately take all 11 of your starting cards, including your ace, and follow the same steps in the initial setup of the game. Afterwards, your opponent continues their turn.
So I think you're supposed to find the illusionist twice.
Interesting.
Either way, we played it best out of 3 anyway, so it's kind of the same thing.
Why would you shuffle back in your ace? Because then wouldn't it just perpetually
Because then, like, you would continue against my revealed cards, and I would continue. And then if I find it a second time, then boom, it's over.
Oh, it says right there, yeah. Capture the illusionist 2 times.
Yeah. Well,
I
captured it 2 out of 3.
That's fine. You won. Yeah, that's all good.
All right.
Technically, we played the second one wrong, but we played an abbreviated game.
Yeah. So on to our review video here. We have our main 5 categories. We'll start with rulebook, which we were just looking at. Very concise and small, but
this right here.
What are your thoughts?
Very much to the point. So for the rule book, I'm probably going to I'm going to give the rule book itself probably a 4 out of 5. So not a full 5. So it's very clear. It's very to the point. It's small so it can fit in the box. I understand all that. But they could have made it slightly bigger by not having this. We already have these cards that have the effects. And being the game it is, you don't need this page for all this. So instead, you could have taken the sections and spread them out to make the words a little bit bigger. So you didn't strain your eyes as much. And then you could have clarified maybe a few things, but again, it is super clear for the most part. I think the main thing is just it's so small and so compact. It was a little difficult to read. I think when we were reading it, we're like up here like this in front of our face. But I do like that it is a fold out like this, same size as the cards, so it fits in that box nice and neat. I think that they just kind of added in stuff they didn't need, so that's kind of tick off a thing for me. So 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm similar rating. I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5. So the reason it's not getting a 5, 100%, the text is too small. I have contacts in, and I still have to hold it like this close to read it. So I do agree that in the rule book you could take out some of this information since we already have little player aids that give it to us. The main reason I push it up slightly from where Nick has it is there is a QR code in the back, which is very unique and it hasn't been done much, where you can just find the rulebook online. So you can scan the QR code, you can just pull it up on your phone. So I do like that aspect where if we're playing with a larger group, if one person has a rulebook over there, I can have it open over here. So I do like that aspect. Not many games have easy access to an online version of their rulebook, which I think a lot of games should, especially if they add updates. It's way easier to just be like, hey, scan the QR code, you'll have the most recent version. So 4.5 for me.
Nice. I stepped away to grab a piece of paper for us to make it easier for us to remember what we said so we can do the averages. All right, let's do, let's see, we got these next ones here. Let's do storage next. What do you think about storage?
Storage. There's not much to say. So boxes here. Literally all the cards, and obviously the rule book and the player aids are the same size as the game cards. Just all slide right into this pouch. It's a magnetic case, so it holds really well, so the game won't easily fall apart and slide out. I give it a 5. Like, it does exactly what it needs to do. I love the size of this box. As people who know me, I have cargo shorts on. I can easily slide this in my pocket.
Actually, I do too today.
I can carry this from point A to point B super easy without worrying about the game getting damaged or scrambled up, or like there's no other pieces other than the cards.
Yeah, so 5?
Yeah.
Great. I agree entirely.
Yeah.
I give it a 5 as well. The thing I think I like the most is obviously the artwork's great, but the magnetic portion is very, very strong, but it goes a step further to where it's not just one magnet that just kind of holds down like this. The fact that it wraps around, so you have the top secure, then here, and magnet on the bottom. So it's like it's not going anywhere. Like nothing's slipping out, nothing's sliding anywhere. The artwork is great. It loops around. There's no, like even here on the side is black. They could have had just black, but it took extra time to make that. Also, it doesn't feel flimsy. Like this is solid. This feels more solid than a lot of board game boxes do, which is incredible. Also, like, so this here, like even there's a bunching there, but it doesn't feel like this is going to tear or get ruined at all. So they definitely took the time to make sure that this box was going to be super solid on your board game wall, which they could have done something super simple.
Yeah.
They could have done a simple like tuck box like you thought it was going to be, and that would have worked too. But they definitely went the extra mile for that. So that's going to be a 5 for me. It'll definitely fit well into a vending machine.
Yeah.
All right.
So now scores are definitely going to vary between Nick and I for the rest of this, most likely. But next category is components. Components are really the physical components, which is cards, cards, and a rulebook, which is card shaped.
Yeah. Well, no, the rulebook's not a component. We already scored
That's
the
true.
rulebook. Yeah, the rulebook.
That's what I'm. So cards, and other cards.
Just the card. So it's not the artwork or the writing on
No,
the
it's
card.
design, yeah.
It's like what they're made out and how they feel. So for myself, component wise, I'm gonna give this a 5 for component. These cards are the linen finish cards, which I prefer. If they were anything less, then I would not give it a 5. Because these are going to be used over and over again. It's a card game. They are sturdy. They shuffle really well. They feel really good in hand. It's easy to push through. None of them stick together. So that's getting a 5 from me.
I don't like agreeing, but I am gonna
Second
agree.
guessing himself.
I agree. 5, yeah, because again, it's just the cards.
Did you think I was gonna be lower?
What?
Did you think I was gonna be lower?
No, not for this. For gameplay, we might vary.
Oh.
So yeah, the cards they're perfect. Like they shuffle well. They're not flimsy or tearing. And again, that is the main component, and the only component of the game.
It's like that. Shit.
So yeah, 5.
Nice. All right. Well, then let's save gameplay for last. Then.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the design?
So design is all of the looks of everything. So here we have. I'm just gonna lay them out.
Yeah, the artwork, the organization on the cards and stuff.
I was trying to lay them out so we can see them all. Not like it matters.
And you also have these up here too.
That's fine. All right. So there's the one deck. So all 5 decks have the same thing. So you see the 2 actually is different. But they're all, so you have the same 11 character classes, which are explained on these cards. We'll talk about that during gameplay.
Elements are different, yeah.
The elements are different. So you look at number 2 here versus the 2 here. It's music for the bard, but it's different. Very creative. They could have gone super simple and just literally had the same corgi in the center, just colored for the 5 different colors for the 5 different suits. They went above and beyond and customized 5 different decks of cards, 11 cards each, to a fun D&D theme of classes just with corgis in the background. We were briefly talking about this the other day. This is super easy to just pick another IP or theme and replicate, which I think is genius. So for design, I give it a 5. I was going to give it a 4.75, but that would round up to 5 anyway, because Nick doesn't like quarters. The only thing I wish was slightly different is these cards are, again, the text is so small, so I'm going to count that as like the design of the card, where to look thoroughly, you got to like hold it up here and be like, okay, these are the cards I have. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it, like even having it on the card or something. But just the size of the text is the only thing that bothered me.
Yeah. On the card would have been interesting because then you would have been just looking at the card the entire time instead of looking to this as well. Like it'd be easy enough to look at, okay, that's what it means. Oh, that's what it means.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it means. Yeah. Very interesting. Good point. I can't factor that in though because I didn't think about that until you just said it. So it's going to get a 5 for me too. The artwork is fantastic. So it's not even just that they varied up the artwork to match the elements. It's just very well done. Speaking as like an artist myself, like it's very much a great simplified version of a corgi. They managed to make every single class different while keeping aspects of the class the same, so it was easy to tell, what they were. They had like slight variants like this, like the 7 and the 7 here is the exact same picture. The difference is really the bow. And that's really it, other than the color.
Yeah.
And then the color scheme just is very well. It's very analogous, to the actual element. These here, this doesn't bother me, the size of the writing, because you're typically looking at your cards. Anyway, no one holds their cards out here when you're playing a card game.
True.
So your cards are here anyway.
It's still an ice.
For myself though, like I don't need glasses or anything to assist my eye. I don't have assisted vision. So
most of us do.
So like I can read this from this far away, but I'm typically holding my cards anyway, so I'm in here doing this to make sure I really understand what it's saying. Like I said, I prefer this over being shoved into the rule book.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So for design wise, for exactly what it is, I'd give it a 5 also.
All right. So last up for our review categories going to be gameplay. Let's make this fun. So there's 3 game modes. Let's just talk about all 3 game modes and then rank.
Okay.
The total rank.
Yeah, yeah. Because so since we have to, for gameplay, we have to factor in every single game mode into our gameplay score. We can't score this based on the one game that we liked the most. We have to factor in each one, our likes and dislikes, to really give us that final score. So we guys will start with original. So what I like original a lot. It's not because I won. I like the idea of the comboing. I think that's fun. I like that every time you play a combo, you get to use the card's effect to potentially help you. So that way, the combo has like almost 2 meanings to it. You have the combo of cards you're putting down and the combos you create by putting cards down in a certain order. I think that is a lot of fun. The one thing I don't necessarily like about the original is that the only card variations you can put down is the exact same type of combo with a higher number. What I probably would have liked to have seen was the winning combo, the new leading combo, could be either the same type of combo, so 2 of a kind and 2 of a kind with a higher number, so and a 2 of a kind of 8 beats a 2 of a kind of 7, or having a next higher combo, meaning a 3 of a kind of any number beat that, if you had like a 2 of a kind of 7, a 3 of a kind of 4 could beat your 2 of a kind of 7. I think that, or at least having it be where you could play a 3 of a kind of 7 on top of a 2 of a kind of 7. So maybe you couldn't go below the number, but you could have played, if you played 1 extra card, you could have played the same number. I think that would have been very beneficial, added a little bit more depth and decision making. Because I feel like I definitely got pigeonholed a couple of times in a spot where I only had like 1 of each different type of card. I had a few where I had 2 and 2, and then it was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so if he played a combo of 2, I couldn't play anything. And then again, if he played a combo of 2, I couldn't play anything. And that's just how it would go until he ran out of cards if he happened to have doubles of each card. I just got lucky in that front that it didn't happen. So, what do you think about original?
So I'll say it's my least favorite of the 3 game modes. And again, not just because I lost, but specifically almost the same points. I would prefer where, if you have a 1 of a kind down, that either a 2 of a kind beats it or higher, or you play a higher number, or you can double up. Be like, okay, I put a 3 down. Like, oh, you can put 2 3s on top of my 1 3. So I think there could have been a lot more variance in how the combo stacked. Other than 2 2s has to be some higher, has to be 2, but it has to be higher than 2. So like 2 4s is better than 2 5, or 2 5s is better than 2 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was very pigeonholed because there was a point where I had 3 of a kind, and I'm like, I'm never playing this 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Until unless I start a round, and then I'm never playing another card because I don't have any other 3 of a kinds, or I have to wait to the very end and hope that you still have cards left, and I get the choice to be able to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was too huge of a pigeonhole where it's like you're stuck with card combos unless you start discarding cards based on the effects.
Yeah.
But I do love the effects. So I do love where if you play a card, you can screw over your opponent.
Yeah.
You can benefit yourself. So I do like how they walk through each of these character classes and thought of fun ways. And it's not just they thought of effects to do. They tailored them directly to the class.
Yeah.
So
cool.
The example here, you have a healer. Heal, you draw a card and you put 1 back. So you're kind of mending a wound to like benefit yourself.
This is the one I thought was most thematic, was the number 5.
5, fire, pierce. Target the next player, force them to expose a card.
But it stays there and they can't use it. Like it literally got pierced to the table.
Yeah. Assassin, knockout. They skip a player's turn because they literally got concussion or something. So so I love the thought process that went into that.
Yep.
So that was the original thoughts. thoughts on
Okay.
original. The original thoughts.
So, what are your thoughts on Treasure Island?
So Treasure Island is the game mode in which you are building a party of up to 2. You're fighting enemies and collecting them as loot as long as you win. If the sum of your cards is better than the sum of the cards you fight. And you can choose to fight 1, 2, or 3 enemies.
Yep.
I absolutely love this game mode. Reason for that is it's not you just playing up to 2 cards, being like, okay, I have 12. I'm going to see if I can beat 2 cards and see if they have higher than 12 or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously the card combo effects. So each card you play down has its own effects, which again can target your opponent and force them to discard cards or screw them over or benefit yourself. I love how they added on effects based on the element. So if you play 2 green cards together or 2 yellows, you get a boost. Or if you play 2 of the same number, you get a boost. So that little extra thought of what are the 2 cards being played and how can they relate to each other and getting a bonus on that. And the game mode went pretty smoothly. Nick did win twice, but it went pretty smoothly where like it is a...
I thought you were going to win the second one for a moment.
So that.
Because you were advancing fast.
You're the one card that stole was the only
I
thing
know.
that made the difference.
I know.
My main thing about that one is I like the fact that you can choose. So I built a party. If I only have an 8, I can still fight 1 enemy because I still have a pretty good chance to beat an enemy.
Yep.
So you're never kind of stuck behind the 8 ball per se, where using 8 again. Not Coke, different 8 ball. Where like if your hand of 3 cards is like 2, 3, 4, where you're not just stuck with that. 1, 2, 3, and 4 have card effects, as well as you potentially can still win at least a battle against 1, or put 2 of them together to win a battle.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Treasure Island is my favorite for sure. I like the fact that you're definitely you're doing your own like push your luck sort of thing, but you can screw with your opponent in the effects way. Like you can really try to screw them over, and then you can hold on to like your aces. So when they try to screw you over, like don't think so, and then it's a free like put into your party. So you can immediately like boost your party. So when the next thing comes, it's like I'm going after it.
Yeah,
which is great. I completely forgot about the effects until you played it on the second one. I was like, oh shit, that's right.
I was going to tell you.
But I like the push your luck aspect of it. Like, all right,
Yeah.
if you're paying
That's
attention,
definitely your side of things.
if you're paying attention, you can see, okay, these cards have come out, so the likelihood of me being able to beat this, I could do that. Or you're like, you know what? Screw it. I only need 3 cards left. Let's go for 3 and see if we can hit it. You know, and then when you do, if you do, it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like I kick the thing's ass. So that one was definitely, I think, the most fun out of the 3 for myself. It felt very thematic, which is a lot of fun too. And just like slowly building your party. Of course, building your party goes very well with the different classes and everything. Yeah, my favorite thing though is definitely like playing that one card that's just like, no, get rid of that card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to that. Like, oh, god damn it.
Or the forced fight.
The force fight was like fun. Like, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this one card. I'm gonna hold on to the next one. No, you're gonna fight it now.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say-
it's so much fun.
The only negative I have on this game mode, and I'm thinking back to like La Corsa, which happened the exact same way, is us players, we only get 3 cards. So if you're playing 4 players, you only get 12 cards. You have 55 here. What I wish the rulebook had is when you shuffle the deck, you take 11 cards and discard them off to the side, just not even seen. Because like right now, like there's a point where you can just card count and be like, okay, I know exactly what's left in that deck, are they high, low, or medium, to know if I should fight or not. Because as you're seeing cards get discarded, you're like, oh, all of 5 of the aces are gone. All 5 of the wilds are gone. There's the 10 values all gone, like just like a game of blackjack where you can count.
But I mean, if you remove that many cards, you're gonna go through that deck way faster, and then you're gonna
Then you
know.
have to reshuffle.
Yeah, but then you're gonna know what's in there anyway. So all it does is.
But then you have to exactly memorize exactly what 44 cards are in there.
You'll have an idea. Like you'll if you're paying attention.
That's
then
much harder than
you'll
exactly
know,
knowing.
If you're paying like I was, you're paying attention to the high cards, right? Because the high cards are the ones that matter the most, and you're counting of the 8s, 9s, and the 2 10s. Like you can pay attention to 3 or 4 card like types.
Sure.
And be like, okay, this many are in there, and like that's what you know. So. Yeah, it wasn't an issue for me. I could see what you're saying, like removing, if you, or even if it was every time you reshuffled. Here's the variation. Every time you reshuffle that deck, you remove 10 cards. And then when
You still have to get to the reshuffle. We never technically got to the reshuffle point either game.
Yeah, but it came down to like literally the last card.
But it was
each
still,
time I won.
Yeah,
but
we never got to the reshuffle point.
I know. I was saying if you remove 10 cards, and we would have gotten to that beforehand because 10 cards have been out.
No, you said when you get to the reshuffle, take 10 cards out.
No. So I'm saying at the beginning.
No, that's exactly what I said.
Let me finish. Listen, you're not listening. You're not putting it all together.
Oh, every time.
Every time.
Oh.
So what you would do is the beginning, do your deal, remove 10 cards. When you have to reshuffle, you take those 10 cards, everything gets shuffled back in, discard the 10, remove a new 10.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So that way you can never card
perfectly now.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, love it still. Okay.
And last
Capture
one.
the Illusionist.
All right. 2-player only variant.
So Capture the Illusionist, you have 8 cards arranged in 2 rows of 4 face down, and then you have 3 cards in your hand hidden as well. The Illusionist could be any of those hidden cards. You are trying to...
Oh, sorry. Important caveats. It's all of one color. So you have the cards of one color.
Sorry, it is all of one color. Sorry,
yeah.
you have one set of your 11?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 8 down, 3 up.
Yeah. Of your 11 cards. That's what you're using. So you're trying to find the other opponent's illusionist. They're trying to stop you. You're supposed to find it twice. We didn't do that. It doesn't matter. It's fine. This is probably my least favorite of them. Mainly because I think there's too much potential luck involved with this. The reason I'm being, so there are the 9 card that's in here, where you get to reveal a card right away. You could put that down and just tap in to choose the right card. And if you don't know where your ace is, there it is. Done deal. So I don't like that. I don't like that aspect in games when that kind of luck is in play, where someone could win by complete chance. That's a no bueno for me. I like the peeking and having to decide what to reveal and that kind of thing. There wasn't really much memory involved. I wish that the game played differently to where like you really kind of had to memorize where things were. Like I kind of wish there was more of your opponent being able to peek at your cards and less of like them being able to just outright reveal your cards. Like maybe there's only 3 cards that could reveal, and instead like you got to peek at them, and there was more of the individual player being able to rearrange cards. So then it was like, okay, if I peeked and I saw, okay, your illusionist is there, you had a card where you could rearrange that card with another one, and then you kind of keep going. And so I had to literally keep track of where you're moving your illusionist the entire time that you're flipping and playing cards. I think that would be more fun. That might have been more thematic as well, because it would literally been like the illusionist just kept on doing a magic trick and disappearing from where they were. I did not win this one. That's not why I feel that way. It's just, I think in general for a game of this fashion, I think this one feels a little bit more half-baked than the rest.
I semi-agree. So yeah, there is 100%, there's a luck aspect where there's multiple cards on here where it just reveals a card on the opponent's side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first turn, you get a lucky pick, you could reveal it. I almost like the aspect of where I have my 11 cards, I choose where to put them down. And you just get rid of the insight ability. Mm-hmm. Be like, okay, I have 11 cards. I choose which 3 I want in my hand. I choose exact. But then you have to remember where you put them.
That makes sense.
Because you got the choice to lay it down.
More of the memory thing.
Yeah. Because, there was no memory. The only memory I took advantage of twice was Nick had to shuffle his illusionist. I'm like, okay, it's in one of 3 spots.
Yep.
I'm not going to target any other card except those 3.
Yep.
But that's just how the game worked. Overall, again, I prefer this over original because I kind of like the fashion it was built where, again, very different set of skills and abilities on these cards. But I do like the fact of I can use a card to either offensively target his or defensively try to shuffle mine up or force his cards to be rested so I can like hold back and survive a turn. But yeah, when you get to a point where everything's revealed except the illusionist, you're like, well, that has to be the illusionist. And there's the effect on the illusionist and the healer require you to shuffle face down cards. Well, all my cards are face up, so I can't shuffle it anywhere. So either change those 2 effects where you can pick other face up cards and shuffle with it, or change up the style a little bit.
Yeah. Shoot, I just had an idea. I think another way this could have played out that I think I would have enjoyed more is instead of having to find the illusionist twice, right? Instead of having the ace that could stop you, is every time you find the illusionist, cards are shuffled and like
cards are dealt out.
He's put aside. All your cards are shuffled, and you discard one face down, and then you shuffle your illusionist in and lay them back in, and just slowly you're losing cards. The one who wins is the one who traps the illusionist.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's the last card you have. Like that's it. Like when you're down to 2.
That would be a way longer game.
Right, which is fine. Makes it longer. Gets rid of. I mean, it involves luck still, but for whatever reason, it feels better to me. I think definitely like getting rid of the insight ability, being able to put your cards down. Yeah. All right. So
final.
Those are the 3. We had original, we had Treasure Island, and we had Capture the Illusionist.
Yes.
So my final rating for gameplay is a 3.5. So just weighing all 3 versions of it, taking my feelings on original, my feelings on Treasure Island, and Capture the Illusionist. So if I had to give a rating to each of those, original would probably fall at a 3.5 for me. I think Treasure Island would probably fall at a 4 for me. And then the Illusionist, I think the Capture Illusionist falls at a 2.5 for me. So it's at 2.5.
That works.
3.5. That's 5.
It works.
Down to 3, right?
3.5,
I mean, right? Yeah, 3.5. Yeah. So 3.5 is my final go.
All right. So for mine, so for individual ratings, original I would give a 3. Again, the big thing with how the combo stacks work and that it's a very narrow way that you can play the game. Wasn't a fan of. Treasure Island I give a 4.5. Absolutely love that game mode. Again, the only thing is if we got discarded some cards at the beginning to prevent some card counting. And I say that as the one who card counts.
Yeah.
Capture the Illusionist, I would give probably like a 3.5 or a 4 overall, where I enjoy the game mode. Probably a 4. I enjoy the game mode a lot, but there is aspects of it that could be improved. So overall, I would say 4 for gameplay.
All right. You want to do the math on these?
Sure.
Get our
Any
Bald and
final
Board
thoughts as I do this?
Get our Bald and Board averages and then our own averages as well. So what he's doing right now is so we each individually rate this, and then we'll give you our final average score for what we individually give the game. And then we're going to give you our official Bald and Board rating for each of those categories, which is going to be the average of both of our scores. And then the final rating for this is going to be the average of our total scores. And we need all the Bald and Board ones too for each category as well. Yeah. And then the total. So Clash of Corgis in the end is great. Simple, fun, easy to jump into. The 3 different games are very different, which is great. We're not even front facing it.
No, rather.
Yeah, there we go. What's nice is 3 different games are very different. So you can pick your favorite and just play that. All right. So for rulebook, the Bald and Board game's official rating for rulebook is a 4. Good deal. Easy, simple rulebook, to the point.
Just minute.
Rarely went back. It was easy to go back to it. You know, it's the size it needs to be. It was very clear, which can be difficult for small rule books, which we've learned. Storage, obviously it's a 5. We gave it a 5. It is this amazing magnetic box. Fits the cards perfectly in there. It's solid. Artwork's great. What else can we say?
Yep.
Gameplay, the average comes out to a 3.5. I think that's pretty good for both of us. I think for the gripes that we each had with the different versions of it, that falls right in that area where it's slightly above the midpoint, which is great.
Yeah.
And then for components, 5. Could both give it a 5.
Just a deck of cards.
Deck of cards, but the key factor is really they give that linen finish. That linen finish makes such a difference. It makes it feel so much sturdier. There's so many other games that we have where the cards just feel cheap.
Yeah.
You know, they're this weird. I mean, even games like Tainted Grail, like the Tainted Grail cards from Awakened Realms, they do so much with the miniatures, but the cards always feel so cheap. Like the artwork looks great, but they don't have that linen finish, so the edges tend to get worn out way easier. Design, we both give it a 5, so Bald and Board Games gives it a 5. Like we said, artwork, phenomenal, simple, yet varied, makes sense, a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to look at. So, for boards, overall score, out of all those categories, it's a 4.5. For myself, of all those categories, it's also a 4.5. So that means Clash of Corgis is a 4.5 out of 5 for us.
Which tags it right here somewhere as a certified must-play by Bald and Board Games.
Woo!
Again, it fits the ranks. The biggest thing for this game compared, like we have a bunch of certified must-plays. If you see our other review videos, there's a bunch back here that we've rated that way. We will rate that way for some others as we do review videos. The biggest benefit to this, unlike all of those, how compact and easy to travel is with it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one where like if you need to make space because you're culling your collection, there's no way you're getting rid of that.
No.
That
Or if you're going out like as a group
to a bar,
yeah,
even anything. Like it's so easy to bring with you. And I think right now, out of the reviews we've done,
you can play it on an airplane.
I think Clash of Corgis might be the second highest score that we've given out.
Tied.
Is it? What's the other one's 4.5?
We have one of the other
Weather
Machine.
Oh, Weather Machine's 4.5. Still, for Clash of Corgis being a card game, different caliber, different difficulty for sure. You know, getting up that high is great. This could have been very much a it's cool sort of game. But yeah, it's the design, everything took that extra mile.
Yeah, and again, we appreciate Derek for reaching out to us, for seeing our videos and giving us the second edition of this game. If you're interested in Clash of Corgis, go to www.clashofcorgis.com or reach out, Clash of Corgis on Instagram. That's where all of their social media posting is. And any new games they have coming out will probably get posted there or on the website.
Yeah. And if you're a creator yourself and you're watching this right now and you're looking for us to give the whole package and give a review, reach out to us at Bald and Board Games at gmail.com, which is the email, or you can also send us a message on Instagram, again, at Bald and Board Games. We love playing board games. We're making some of our own, so we would love to help any creators we can make their game the best it can be.
Yep, and we're always honest. Some games are just self-explanatory. They're good. It works. Some aren't, and we're very straightforward about that.
Yeah, and the reason why we each do our own ratings, then give an overall Bald and Board or the average, is because we tend to think very differently. Here it was very even in what we liked about the game, but there's definitely games where we are opposites.
Yeah, for sure.
On what we liked and didn't like and everything.
This is the 3 game modes we rated differently.
Exactly. So that's why we try to be as fair as possible, and we give that combined score so that way it's not skewed one way or the other.
Yep.
So anyone watching this, definitely check out Clash of Corgis. If you love Cowboy Bebop, if you have a Corgi, if you like dogs, if you have kids, if you're looking for a fun family game, really
just like card games,
any situation whatsoever.
Like I'm not necessarily a fan of Corgis, but because the Corgis are D&D classes, like this is cool. I love it.
It'll fit any situation.
Yeah.
You'll find a reason to love it, just like we did. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us here at Bald and Board Games, where we reviewed Clash of Corgis. I'm Bald.
I'm Bored.
We'll see you at the table.